Hello and welcome to another 31 Days of Horror 2016 video. We are going back, well honestly we haven't really left the schlock, the low budget stuff this year. It's been a lot of it. And we are going to the Asylum for the next one with Invasion of the Pod People. Yes, Invasion of the Pod People, clearly an Invasion of the Body Snatchers ripoff. This is the unrated version. Is there another one? I don't know. But yes. Film from the Asylum, known more for, ripping off current films and such and putting them on store shelves and video rental shelves if they, there are any video rental stores left. In an attempt to try and trick you into thinking the movie that's out in theaters right now is already available to buy, kind of. It's also just, I guess, lacking in creativity. But this is, clear ripoff of, Invasion of the Body Snatchers or even, Puppet Masters, or I think was it Invasion was the last one that was essentially the same story. But yeah, this is a 2007 film. It's directed by Justin Jones, who you're not going to know who he is unless you're a fan of the Asylum. He's been, assistant AD and second AD on a ton of stuff, but he also did directing work on Quantum Apocalypse, which was a television movie, and Sorority Party Massacre. That's good. But, that means he's totally up for Invasion of the Pod People. Yeah, I guess so. But he's also an actor, so you may have seen him in When a Killer Calls, or 666 The Child, or Pirates of Treasure Island, or The Apocalypse, or 666 The Beast, or whatever. Universal Soldiers, maybe? I mean, if you are totally into films of this nature and the people who go along with them, then you probably know what the deal is between of this movie and the people involved. Essentially, what if you don't know what the Invasion of the Body Snatchers movie is, stop this movie now and go watch it, because honestly it is a classic. And you could watch either the original black and white or the remake with Mr. Sutherland. I mean, you could go with Puppet Masters and such, but stick with the originals first, and because they're way above in terms of quality and entertainment value compared to any of the others that have come since. But just in case you want to continue on with this video, even though you haven't seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers, essentially the idea is the Earth has been invaded by aliens, or some kind of an alien plant, the pods. And what happens in Invasion of the Body Snatchers is when you go to sleep, these pods essentially take you and suck the life out of you and create a new version of you, which is part of a hive mind collective, and it looks exactly like you, talks exactly like you, but it isn't you. I mean, that may sound familiar, right? Well, that's what it's from. Well, in Invasion of the Pod People, you have this similar idea, except in this case it takes place at a talent agency in California, and so the talent here is made up of a lot of say classy ladies. Before I looked them up, I wasn't going to be surprised if they had done some naughty movies beforehand, but they seem to be all in the realm of the B movie, or I don't know. I didn't dig really deep. I only looked on IMDb, which doesn't tend to have that type of film. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. Post down below if you have seen or know of any of the actors I'm about to mention in some naughtier type films. Essentially, I believe this film was released the same year as Invasion in an attempt to try and capitalize on that. Like I said, that's the way that the Asylum works. Unfortunately, the Invasion was not a film that you really want to copy. But yeah, so we've got I guess the main character is played by Erica Kessler, who is the one in the film who kind of realizes there's something, not so kosher with what's going on with all these people, right? And of course, all the actors and stuff are alumnus from the Asylum and that type of film. She's been in Dracula's Curse, The Apocalypse, The Hitchhiker, Hillside Cannibals, Halloween Night, and even Exorcism, the Possession of Gail Bowers, which I don't think I've done on this channel just yet. Maybe later? Who knows? She has a co-worker and I guess good friend played by Danae Nason, who, again, same type of thing. She's been in Transmorphers and Chilling Visions, Five Senses of Fear, 2012 Doomsday, Countdown Jerusalem, and she is the one who doesn't quite believe her at first, but knows that there's something weird going on, but doesn't believe the explanation that she's eventually given right off the bat. So, but it doesn't take long for her to get on board, obviously, into the whole idea of, hey, there's some pod people. Another person that they worked with is played by Jessica Bork, who is sort of their boss, but again is also not their boss, but sort of like middle management, I guess, boss. And she was in Dragon and The Hitchhiker and Transmorphers, and just a lot of the same stuff, right? Like, they all end up in similar films around the same time, right? You get cast and you do multiple films for the Asylum, I guess. And if you really like it, you stay on and do more, or if they like you. And as attractive as these women are, and much of the rest of the cast, the acting in this film is abysmal. The story pulls from, a great story and does a piss poor job of it, and trying to keep, like I said, it's a talent agency, and the big thing in this one is the pod is a cactus. They give you a weird looking cactus. I don't know what type of cactus it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a cactus. Kind of looks like ginger root, but as a cactus. I don't know. If you know your cactuses, cacti, comment down below with the answer to what the cactus was in the movie, because I don't know. I'm just pretty sure it was a cactus. So they give the cactus to him as sort of like a gift or something, and then obviously, I guess they take some of their DNA or something like that and creates a version of them, and then that version eventually has to try and kill the real one in order to, completely assume their identity. And so, yeah, you get cops involved, you get hero types involved, you get some people are clearly turned into, pod people early, other people you don't know, right? So there's a little bit of, oh my god, are they a pod person, are they not? The problem is it's so poorly presented that you know which ones are the pod people, even though the people in the film can't figure it out, even when it's a really good friend of theirs. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, if that wasn't bad enough, and though I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad, it's kind of the saving grace to the film, is because this is the talent agency and we get models and such, that we do get some nudity. Yes, if I was to describe this as anything, it would be Invasion of the Body Snatchers as a soft core film. So there's lesbian scenes and simulated sex scenes and shower scenes, just all sorts of cases of nudity going on, but it's never like hardcore or anything like that. It's never really there's a couple of scenes where it's kind of explicit, where there's a lot of it, but for the most part it's nothing much, but it's in there quite a bit. And it's so funny because apparently I don't know if this is a thing or if whatever, but when you're a pod person, as far as I can tell from this movie, you really like to get it on. Apparently. It's a weird thing about the film. There's a lot of people, become one of us. And they're like, what? Why are you coming on to me? Why? I'm not into lesbianism. I'm not into that. No, once you try it, you can't go back, type thing. And yeah, it's a weird little concept in the film that's explored almost for the sole reason of trying to get nudity in the film, and lesbian scenes and such, but isn't necessarily explored to its fullest and explained. But yeah, honestly, guys, this is a very cheap, low budget, poorly acted version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or actually just a version of Invasion, because that's what it was trying to capitalize on, which wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the fact that the audio and the video are terrible. Honestly, the people making this film had no idea what they were doing. You get parts where you get sound floor and no sound floor, and parts where dialogue you can't even hear because the music is so loud and things. And I'm pretty sure it's not because of the DVD. I'm pretty sure it's because of the way they shot the film. Could you go in and spend a lot of money in post and try and correct that? Yeah, to a certain degree, yes. But it's like one of those things where, you're cutting in between shots and the camera's far away, so that's where the mic is, or the camera's close up, so that's where the mic is. And yet the conversations are like, sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's soft, sometimes it's weird, sometimes you can't hear it, sometimes you can, sometimes... all the while you're getting like really poorly shot, very amateur looking, video, which was really, really disappointing, because I could have given this, the film a little bit of a pass, if it weren't for the technical difficulties involved here. So you get a knock on acting, you get a knock on a bad version of a great story, but you don't go too far down, because it's okay. The original story is so good that you can do almost no wrong, almost. And then you add on to the fact that, bad audio, bad video, bad movie. So as much as I'd like to give it in the 2, maybe almost the 2.5 range, I'm dropping it down to 1.5 simply for, you're getting nudity and a story that's it's somewhat entertaining. But yeah, unfortunately, much of this film is killed due to technical reasons, and the rest of it is killed due to really bad acting. Really bad. But hey, it's the Asylum, so you can't expect much. You know what you're getting into when you watch one of their films. It's never going to be great, but sometimes it can be entertaining, and this is slightly entertaining, but not really. It's only, I would say, if you're into the Invasion of the Body Snatchers films like I am, like I really love them, and I love all the spin-offs for it, which is kind of one of the reasons why I kind of like this film. But, you know, you could be in the same boat that I am, in which case I say, you know, check it out. Check it out, because it's not great, but you know what you're getting into beforehand, so keep that in mind when you watch it. If you're into films like the Asylum films, and just in general, and you love that low budget, it's like, this is just right up your alley. It's great. It's sci-fi. It's horror. It's alien invasion. It's got everything that you probably want. But for everybody else, stay away. Stay far away. There is nothing here for you to see except for, I didn't count them, but there was quite a few breasts. But you can see that on the internet these days, so there's nothing you haven't seen before. Anyways, yeah, let me know if you've seen Invasion of the Pod People. Comment down below. Try and keep it spoiler free as much as possible. I love to hear from you. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.